What's up, Wargamers? Welcome back to World of Wargaming. I'm Isaiah, and today we're going to continue our journey into Castle Fear, deep within the Carpathian Mountains. Before we do that, if you haven't considered smashing all the buttons or checking out the links in the description, just think about it, that's all I'm saying. Not telling you what to do, just asking you to think about it. And then while you think about it, let's go take a look at the board and the scenario for this game. Oh, and Cannoli, come on, say hi. For this game of the Silver Bayonet. What's up, my friends, and welcome to the Great Hall. Now again, this is a PvP. This is meant to be a head-to-head scenario that I'm modifying slightly to play it solo. So normally these armors that are in the middle of each table edge, you would use monster dice to roll to try to activate them. I'm going to say that one of them will activate at the end of every turn after the first. And so by turn 5, they will all be active. The fire in the middle of the room blocks line of sight to and from it, like across it. Also, as we all come into the room from the corners, here and here, we are dazzled by the flame and are unable to do any shooting attacks in the first turn. If we touch the fire pit, or one of the clues adjacent to it, then we have to take a Courage 10 test to avoid touching the flame because it's so mesmerizing. If we pass, nothing happens, we're good. If we fail, we take, I want to say, 2 damage and are treated as having rolled, I want to think, terrified on the terror check. Let me double check that. Not terrified, distracted. So that being said, the first turn is just going to be me shuffling about. So we'll show you where everybody starts. So on this side, one friend passed his sprint check, the other 2 failed. A sprint check is your skill dice and power dice, roll them together. You're looking for an 11 or better. If you pass, you can move 10. If you fail, you can move 8. So you're going to get a little bit of extra movement either way. It's just a matter of how much. Over here, however, we sprinted a little bit better, and only these back 2 failed their sprint checks. So we're going to roll on into turn 2, and at the end, in the monster phase of this turn, we will get a suit of armor activating somewhere. Captain Nikolai in the front is going to try to sprint to that, towards that wide objective away from the fire, taking it to the other side of that objective. Next up for me is going to be Boris, who's just going to move, no sprint. Dimitri, our champion of faith, is going to have a move, and then he is going to try to bless the weapons of Egon, the rifleman. Courage check 10. Yes. So his weapon is going to count as blessed, and he is going to take a point of damage for the miracle, from the strain of summoning that power. We go to the monster phase, and one of these 4 armors is going to wake up. It's going to be the first one, which will be our friend right here. Our armored friend will move full tilt towards Egon. Play will then return to me, and I'm going to have Egon dump a load onto this living armor. That's a miss. Yeah, no, I'm going to use a skill dice. I'm going to use a skill dice reroll and hope for the best here. Nope, that was worse. Okay, miss. And then a quick move. Grigory, gonna have his go at a sprint. 8, 9, 10. He doesn't get it, so he gets to move 8. I'm counting this. Sorry, my dog is going crazy a little bit. I'm counting this as just 1 inch down and then measuring from the base out, so I'm trying not to give myself any extra move. 2 there. My last 2 activations are Mikhail and the Doc, who are both going to be making sprints, so we're going to show you where both of them start and end. Taking themselves both up into the central region of the Great Hall. Dimitri is going to move in an attempt to bless the weapon of Mikhail, who is right there. 11 is a success, and he's got a courage modifier of 3 or so. 4. So yeah, he's good. So blessed weapon on Mikhail. Egon will move to this far objective and reload. Nikolai will investigate the clue marker. Ace. I find an enchanted halberd. So it's not only enchanted, but it is +1. So that's really good for fighting the living armors. I'm then going to move to the west towards the fire pit. Phase, we'll see which one of our armor friends will activate. 2, which would be 1 on a D3, which would be the north. I always go this way. So that'll be on the top one we'll activate. First armor will move towards Egon. Luckily, they're kind of slow and chunky. Second armor will make its move down board south towards the party that it can see. Mikhail gonna have a move, and with his newly blessed weapon, will have a shot at that living armor. On an 8, 9, 10, not going to hit. Doc's gonna have a sprint over towards Dimitri, which he gets. Grigory will move to that west objective, and we're going to roll the dice. Can he be courageous? He can be courageous. Let's go. And then we're going to investigate that clue marker. Queen. Of course, then Grigory receives an enchanted crossbow, which he can't really use effectively. Oh, Boris is just going to move up a little bit. And on that note, we're ready to proceed to the next turn. I'm going to start with Egon, who is going to investigate his clue. King. He receives the enchanted sword, and then he will move away. Doc, gonna put some old first aid on Dimitri, take those 2 wounds off of him that he's got. Dimitri is then gonna move in and check out this clue token. Let's take his courage test. He's gonna pass with flying colors and will receive the 9 of hearts. So that is the meteoric iron breastplate. I have +1 defense or damage reduction for the rest of the scenario. And I get a skill dice in my fate pool. Let's go. Bringing us to monster phase, we're going to have an even or odd to see which one of our remaining armors activate. And even roll will be the southern. We get a 6, which is an even roll. So this guy down here will activate. Nikolai is going in on this objective. Nope, he's going to go in on that northern objective. Take a courage test, which we pass with flying colors, and then see what we get. 10 of hearts. Get the dragon shield, so we get +2 defense for the remainder, and we get a power dice in our fate pool. Mikhail is going to reload and fire on that closest armor. 10 +2, that's not going to do it. I'm going to use a skill dice here. I'm going to re-roll that red. 12, 2, 14. They get -1 for the yeah, so that will hit. Power dice hits for 6. Grigory is going to pull back just a little bit. New turn begins with still no doubles rolled for the unexpected encounter, so that's really, really, really nice. We're going to shoot with Egon and then move away. 9, 12, 14. That will hit. 4, 9 damage. Good roll. Mikhail, going to reload and fire at the living armor. That's going to be a hit. Just straight up off the dice. So there's going to be 6 more damage on him out of his 14 health. Last up for my first phase is going to be Nikolai, who's going to move to that last objective. His courage test. Pass. And flip that last one, which is the Jack. Right there. We get the ceremonial helm, which gives us another 2 damage reduction for this scenario. We'll then go to all our animated and armored friends. All of these armors are closing in. It's definitely time for me to try to get out of here. I'm still going to try to lick some shots because I want to kill 1 or 2 of these. But let's finish up this turn. I got 4 left to activate because when you go, it's in phases. You get half of what your total is rounded down, and then the monsters go, and then you get to activate the rest of them. Dimitri, in front of the bonfire, is going to try to cast or summon a miracle, perform a miracle on Grigory to bless his weapons. We do it successfully, but we take a point of damage. He will then scurry away. As a man of science, Doc is not intended for such activity, so he's going to scoot, passing his sprint test. Grigory is going to move to attack. So we're going to roll both of our dice and try to beat their armor. Oh, I did for sure. That's a 9, 17, 19. It's going to go off the power dice. He's got a heavy weapon, which I think is +1 to the roll. And after absolutely shattering that armor, I turn to face the remaining one. I don't think I get a movement if he's dead. So I'm just going to turn and face him on the spot. Take a fatigue token, which gives me -1 to my defense, my melee, my shooting, I want to say. Fair number of penalties. You can have 2 of those at a time. You get them from melee combat, not from shooting. Boris, there on the rug by the table, is going to begin his pullback maneuver. Going to take a sprint check. Going to fail the sprint check, so only moving 8. New turn begins. Still no unexpected encounters, so we might get out of here pretty clean. Mikhail is going to burn one of the skill dice that I have in my fate pool for a quick reload. Going to fire at that living armor, and then we're going to jump away. See if we can hit. We can absolutely hit. 4, 9 damage. That's going to take that living armor out. And then bouncing away to the other side of the rug. Egon is going to reload and fire on that living armor to the east. We're cracking them, dude. Let's go. 8 damage. Grigory's going to move out. I don't want him to get stuck in and shapeshift, and then I can't get him out of here. So he'll get his sprint. On to our remaining foes. Doc, heading for the way out. Not going to quite get there. Dimitri will try to bless the weapons of Boris, which he does, takes a point of damage, and then make his move. Boris will fire and then skirmish himself away, hitting with a musket, so for 6. Nikolai will sprint, looking for an 11 on that sprint check. We do not get it, so we're moving 8. Egon going to attempt the same maneuver as Mikhail just did with a quick reload off the fate dice. I'm going to use a fate dice to reroll that 1. That's a 5, 7, 12, 14. -1 hits for 7 damage with 8 damage on it. That's enough to get rid of that living armor. And then I'm going to scurry away. Mikhail going to reload and have a shot at the living armor chasing his friends. He's going to hit for 8 damage with 6 already on him is enough to finish that living armor off. So we came out with everybody except Grigory getting 2 XP. Ivan got enough XP to get him to 18, which was a level break, an experience break. So he got +1 to his shoot, so he can shoot not well, but better than not at all. Grigory was the one who didn't get a bonus. His 1 just for being there put him to 28, so the next scenario with a bonus XP, he should be able to hit 30. And I think our next scenario is the last one in the Castle Fear, in the Carpathians. After that, the crew's going to be shipping out for much colder parts of the world. But for today, that's going to do it. Thanks so much for tuning in and hanging out while I played some Silver Bayonet. I hope you have an absolutely amazing rest of your day.